it out a sunroof?
I had a hailstorm once, probably about 1982, 81, something like that. They were as big as big baked potatoes.
Yikes.
And broke windshields on the cars, broke windows, broke one window in the house.
Wow.
I was driving at the time. I don't know. It would have been after that. It would have been, when would it have been? Probably about 90. I was driving Natalie's dad's old pickup truck, an S10, so in the 90s, 94, 95 maybe. It broke a piece of metal off of the bed of the pickup truck. It was a step side S10, where the bed comes up right behind the cab. It was this piece of metal on that cap, broke it off, was laying there in the bed of the truck.
That's crazy.
Broke the windshield and the passenger side window out. The sunroom on the back of the house had fiberglass, opaque panels, came through just like they weren't even there.
Crazy.
Yeah. There were some new houses that had real thin decking that they went through the decking. Yeah, it was crazy.
We didn't, where I live, we didn't see any of that storm. That y'all experienced the other day.
It was quite a storm.
I think we had rain and stuff, but it was nothing like what y'all got.
It was weird. Natalie had left her window partway down in her car, completely dry in the car. It wasn't even wet. It poured rain. It was the wrong direction, so it was in the dry side.
Well, she's lucky.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am so ready for the cold weather to be gone because I am not a responsible adult and I do not defrost my windows like I should.
I love this weather.
So then you go out and I'm like, oh, well, now I have to wait another 10 minutes to drive to work.
It was beautiful.
Hey, Scott, the thing's not counting down. Is that okay?
He hadn't launched it yet.
Where we're live streaming?
He's recording, but that doesn't mean it's live streaming.
It says live streaming. Because we're live. Right now.
Yeah. Don't know.
Don't know. How was your Easter?
It was good. Natalie's sick. Didn't even go to school today.
I like how you say it was good. Natalie was sick.
I mean, it's Easter.
Fix me up.
Yeah.
I'm getting my duplicated driver's license in the mail today. It was a mess.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. I feel sorry for all people who have lost their wallets. I see people on chat. That's nice. Yeah.
I was saying that your thing wasn't counting down.
It wasn't counting down because Scott had to go get his coffee.
Did you wait to start the countdown till you got your coffee because you wanted extra time, or did you just?
Yeah, because now you're kind of settling in.
Interesting.
Got the broadcast going on, and people are. It's like they're getting their seat, relaxing. Maybe they're getting coffee. I don't know. I hope so.
Let's take a poll. Who all takes coffee during all of our shows?
Yeah,
I'm just
coffee
curious.
Or something stronger. Because maybe you need something stronger to watch one of our shows.
Oh gosh.
Not that we're condoning anything, okay? But it is Monday. It is Monday. Yeah, now it just gives me a little time to share our show with our friends. You know, so here we are.
Yeah.
Scott, check the chat function, please.
It works. Why?
No, for me in Zoom.
Okay. Well, we will just get started. How about that?
That'll work.
That work for you?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
NASA's Hubble Space Telescope has determined the size of the largest icy comet nucleus ever found, and it's big. With a diameter of approximately 80 miles across, it's about 50 times larger than typical comets. Its 500 trillion ton mass is 100,000 times greater than the average comet. The challenge was distinguishing the solid nucleus from the huge dusty coma enveloping it. The comet is so far away that its nucleus is too small for Hubble to resolve. Instead, Hubble found a bright spike of light at the nucleus's location. Astronomers made a computer model of the surrounding coma and adjusted it to fit the Hubble images. Then, the glow of the coma was subtracted, leaving behind the star-like nucleus. Size was then estimated from its brightness. The behemoth comet is barreling this way at 22,000 miles per hour, but don't worry, it won't get any closer than roughly 1 billion miles away from the Sun, slightly farther out than Saturn.
Well, hello everybody. It's Scott Roberts here from Explore Scientific and the Explore Alliance, and I am very happy to be here with you today on this Monday. Dr. Daniel Barth could not join us because he had a prior engagement. So anyways, we'll see him next week on How Do You Know? But today we are about to release news on the Newswire on a press release that Explore Scientific has reached a distribution agreement with Optiques Fulham. Now, we've talked a little bit about it on the show. Let me bring on Kent and Annie. We're going to talk about this first, and then Kent's got to he has another appointment he needs to get to, but I think it's super exciting to announce that we are effectively making available to amateur astronomers some of the largest telescopes in the world that they can buy. Okay, and so that is the Optiques Fulham line. I'm going to put actually a link out there for you guys to look at, so you can see the web pages and stuff. We're also still doing a build out. If you're at all interested in buying this category of telescope, this is really just a dream come true for a lot of amateur astronomers to have something like this. These telescopes are from 30 inches to 65 inches in aperture. Kent, what's the biggest telescope you've looked through?
The biggest telescope I've looked through is I am a rare bird. Because I looked through the 72-inch, I think it's 72-inch Struve telescope at McDonald Observatory. Observatory. Yeah.
So you were at Texas Star Party or something?
No, a group of us that got together at, I don't know, the 2008 astronomically convention in Kansas City. There was a guy there trying to put together a trip. He had bought a night on that telescope.
Oh, wow.
And he put together a group of 12 people to go out. It was a lot of guys from the St. Louis Astronomical Society. And we went out and it turns out that was when Mike Brown had found what is would be considered the 12th planet, if or
Right.
minor planet or whatever. And so it went from just going out to using the telescope and looking at all this cool faint stuff to actually an expedition to try and see if we could see it. And it was the limiting magnitude of the telescope was like 19.3. And the estimated brightness was 19 on would it be what is it? Can't think of the name of what they call it now. Anyway, and so some guys in the astronomy world, this was, CCDs weren't really a lot big use at that time. And a guy in Ohio ended up finding it and sent the data to Michael Brown, and he confirmed that we had found it. And so,
Oh, wow.
And so we actually saw it through the telescope that night in October that year.
Visually, that is.
And it was a lighter shade of black. It wasn't very bright, but by golly, we saw it. And but I'm a rare bird to have used a reflector with a 6-foot mirror. There's very few people out there that have experienced the awe of doing that. And we were done for the night. We were the first group that ever stayed all night. And somebody was like, "Well, you want to look at? We still got a little time." And I said, "Let's look at M42." They were like,
Sure.
"Why would we look at M42?" Because we'd been looking at super faint stuff, very arcane things. And so they said, "Why not?" So the first guy at the eyepiece looked in, and he exclaimed a profanity because you can only see one star of the trapezium. The field of view was so narrow; it was astounding.
Wow.
And you could see colors. You could see oranges and blues and greens, and you could see little planetismals like in the Pillars of Creation. It was a fantastic. And I ran into some guys when we went up to Yerkes. Ran into some guys from St. Louis, and I said, "Didn't you?" And they said, "Yeah." And he says, "I knew I recognized you." We started talking, and that's the thing they still talk about the most, was looking at one of the most viewed things on the planet through telescopes.
Sure.
Other than the moon, the most photographed thing, right, in the heavens. And it was an afterthought, and it's the thing they still talk about, how amazing that view was of the heart of the trapezium. Yeah, it was
Right.
It was pretty darn cool.
That's pretty cool.
But if you ever get a chance to look at a telescope with a mirror anywhere close to that, it is truly astounding.
Sure.
Well, it is.
Now you can, for only $715,000,
you can stand on the
you
ground
can
and
have
use
one at your home.
and you can stand on the ground when you look through it too, if that's the folded one.
Almost. Actually,
Yeah.
I would recommend a small platform, but you're not going to have to climb up a tall ladder. That would be for the 65-inch f3.5. I can tell Annie's trying to figure out right now how she can,
Afford that.
put that into her
Not
budget.
even afford it. Not even that. I'm just thinking, how in the world do you take that thing apart and then move it around and put it back together? I'm like, holy
you build
cow.
a building around it.
Just like,
That telescope, the 50-inch model weighs roughly 1,000 pounds. Okay, their 30-inch model is about 500 pounds. So you would think that a 50-inch would be a lot heavier, but the reason why it isn't is because of the way they construct the mirrors on these telescopes. They're called technofusion. And so tomorrow I'm going to have Norman Fulham, the guy who builds these. If you've watched our programs before in Global Star Party, Norman's been on several times, he's just a wonderful guy to have on. He plays music, often during Global Star Party when he's on, but he's an amazing telescope builder. So he told me that he would get his iPhone out and walk us around the factory a little bit and show us, what's going on. So
Scott, he casts his own mirrors, right?
Well, this is the way that he does it. Okay, he starts off with two large plates, of glass, optical glass, and then he puts like risers in between, like many risers. Okay,
So it's a honeycomb almost.
kind of, okay. And then what he does is he sticks this whole thing into an oven and it fuses together. He calls it techno-fusion, okay, which is a cool name for it. But the thing is that this is a way lighter mirror. And the other advantage, even if you look at some telescopes that, for instance, our 20-inch, for example, it's not a thin mirror, but it's a regular thickness mirror that you'd see today.
It's
A
heavy.
mirror like that might take a 20-inch Dobsonian. The mirror might take about 3 or 4 hours to cool down to the outside ambient temperature. These techno-fusion mirrors, even at 50 inches, can cool down in less than 1 hour. Okay.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Right? So that's crazy. Yeah. So even a 65-inch would cool down in less than 1 hour. Okay?
It must have a massive amount of surface area on the bottom side of the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's incredible. But he'll show us how he makes them and all the rest of it. He's building one right now for a client. And so now, he doesn't build thousands of these things. They are built really 1 or 2 at a time in his facility in Canada. But he does the mirror, he builds the structure, step by step as we get involved with him, we're going to be, putting our eyepieces on, onto these telescopes and other accessories that as we go along. But I'm really happy to be involved with this because, if you've ever looked at, you heard Kent Martz's story, and I have my own of looking through large telescopes. I've looked through 60-inch telescopes, 40-inch refractor at Yerkes, 100-inch at Mount Wilson, and the 200-inch at Palomar. I visually have looked through. I used the little bit larger telescope at McDonald, which I think is 107 inches or 108 inches, something like that, and saw the Whirlpool Galaxy with it. So it's mind-blowing to actually visually look at these instruments, these large aperture instruments. But the cool part is they're fully robotic computerized, and you can do astrophotography with these new telescopes. So, but tomorrow, Norman will talk about the folded optics design in his Newtonian telescope. So
Scott, what's the lead time? 6 months?
About, yeah.
So if somebody ordered one right now,
about 6 months.
About 6 months, but it could go much longer.
Going as quickly as you can, but it is, but it's amazing. I mean, usually a telescope on that scale, you're going to be waiting a year, 2 years, 3 years. So
got to be patient.
He gets it done in a matter of months. They deliver it. There would be a service package that would be sold along with it, but he can get down there and make sure it's installed correctly, set up correctly, and all the rest of it. But anyone buying something in this class typically would own or lease land and have a protective structure around it. A roll-off roof observatory would work out really well, for something like this. So
yeah,
but. A real dream. And, in the grand scheme of things, it's not totally out of the reach of a lot of amateur astronomers, but it would be a big financial commitment, that's for sure. But if you're looking for something that, if you've got extreme aperture fever, we have the medicine for that. So.
Yes.
Right. So anyways, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we go over to Annie? Okay.
Does anybody else have medicine that large, Scott?
In the telescope manufacturing industry?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
Can you get bigger telescopes? Yes. They're all one-off, custom done, and you're buying them like a university would buy, a big telescope.
Yeah.
So
I like what Mike Wiesner's saying. What a door prize to win.
what a door prize. That's right. That's right. And if you can look, Mike, if you can pick it up and carry it home, okay.
By yourself.
I know Mike would build something. He would probably design like some sort of Iron Man suit so you could do it. But
Or you better stipulate in one load. You can't do it in pieces. Move it piece by piece.
And you have to move it. You have to move it off the premises in 10 minutes.
There you go.
He would get
All
a
right.
sky crane or something, grab it, and just fly off with it.
So, all right, that's going to be fun I'll be sending that to the dealers tomorrow to announce.
Yeah.
You know, and
Press release will be out tonight or tomorrow morning, and Harold said $1,000 raffle tickets.
So Scott,
Maybe a little bit higher, Harold. So.
Well, $1,000 raffle tickets. If we sell 1 million of them,
I'm down for that. So
that might be a project for NWA Space.
yeah, but I mean, just working here and selling something like that, it really makes you think. It makes the gears turn. Like you're going, how could I get one for my own private use? So.
Yep. Well, anyway, I've got an appointment I got to run to. Everybody have fun.
Thanks for coming on, and
Scott,
we will see you tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll be on with Norman Fulham at 4:00 tomorrow.
Scott, when will our web pages go up?
They're up right now, and
They're up right now.
I already put the link out there, but if you go to explorescientific.com/Fulham, or you can do /Optiques Fulham, you'll land on the page, the collection page, and it shows them. I will be working with Norman, because Norman, I've looked through big telescopes, and Norman has, but we're going to describe what it looks like. But just to give you a flavor of what this is like, the descriptions have to kind of fit the product. And so I start off by saying the 30-inch Fulham folded Newtonian is designed, engineered, and manufactured in-house by master telescope builder Norman Fulham. And I do consider him to be a master telescope builder. For many amateur astronomers, a 30-inch really is about the biggest telescope that most amateur astronomers will have ever looked through, and it gathers over 10,000 times the amount of light that the human eye can. So you're going to see experiences like Kent March described. We're starting to see color in nebula, galaxy structures, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the seeing conditions for it, the bigger the aperture, the better the seeing has to be perfect seeing.
So
but
Scott,
you get down to where it's like perfect seeing, you're going to see mind-blowing detail on planets.
Thor's helmet looks better than a lot of the pictures you see of Thor's helmet visually. I mean, it was just.
You will have this kind of
crazy.
Wonderful visual experience that that you'll never forget. But I think that a lot of it's possible that clubs and organizations can certainly get into a situation where they can buy one of these. So, but kind of fun. And Norman does attend star parties from time to time with some of his big telescopes. And the last time I saw him out, this is when we were in Canada, and we were looking through a 36-inch telescope. And the 36-inch, we were looking at the dumbbell through an Explore Scientific 9mm 120-degree eyepiece. And the dumbbell looked like this giant thing floating out in space, because 120 degrees, you can't even see the edges of the field of view of the eyepiece. So that spacewalk effect that they talk about in some wide field eyepieces, this was definitely the case with this, and it was just spectacular. It was spectacular. So we'll be talking more about giant aperture observing tomorrow, and we'll get to look at Norman's facility tomorrow as well. So
I gotta go. Everybody have fun.
Okay.
Thanks
Take
everybody
care.
for joining us. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
See you, Kent. Take care. And so, Annie, it's the Scott and Annie show right now. So, right?
Be careful. Be careful.
Be careful. That's right. So, here, let me pull you in here. There you go. It's Annie.
It's the Scott and Annie show.
The Annie and Scott show.
The Annie and Scott show.
Mm-hmm. We got to go in alphabetical order.
Oh my gosh. We don't have to go in alphabetical order. It doesn't matter either way.
Mm-hmm. So, just wanted to touch base, about what's coming up. We will have, I can talk a little bit about the 91st Global Star Party. We've got some special guests that are going to join us again. Right now, I know of that Anthony Cook is his name. He used to be, I met Tony Cook, maybe 35 years ago, something like that, when he was working in a telescope shop in Los Angeles called LA Optical. And LA Optical at the time was probably the biggest high-end telescope shop in the world. Tony is an amazing amateur astronomer. He worked at Griffith Park for a number of years. So we're really fortunate to have him on. The last time I saw Tony was when we were together for there was a spacecraft mission called Deep Impact, and they crashed basically something about the size of a VW bug into a comet. Okay. We're at Palomar Observatory. The BBC was there. So we were on a show called BBC, The Sky at Night program with Chris Lintott, and Tony and I visually got to watch this impact happen. You could actually see it,
Oh, wow.
So we were really, really happy to have been part of that. But I haven't seen him in person since. So I'm really excited about having him back on. We had a guy named Robert Fugate who was on the last Global Star Party, and Robert Fugate is considered to be the father of laser guided adaptive optics. Now that's what they use on big telescopes to equal out the distortion that's caused by the atmosphere. It's amazing technology. And so they, using techniques that he developed, they actually can get a higher resolution image than what even Hubble could get, but it can't get the field of view. So, but when you're studying little objects, it's just an amazing thing. So, but he's also an amateur astronomer. He is an amateur astrophotographer. So he's going to be talking about more of his techniques tomorrow as well. But we'll have a lot of the regular people on Global Star Party that you've known to come to know and love. And so, I'm excited about that. What else do we got going on this week?
Well, we got our normal broadcasting. I know that next week's going to be a little bit of not much of a change up. We won't have a Global Star Party because Scott's going to be traveling.
Out of town. Yes, I have to go do out of town business. So,
but we, of course, are going to still have our programs because we have that lovely studio set up now that our media guy has created for us. And so we still are able to have shows and things like that. So it'll be regular programming, just the Global Star Party won't happen. So we'll be able to have everything else. And then the most exciting thing that I didn't know about this till I had a meeting with Scott today. I'm kind of excited about this show. We are going to be launching on May 3rd a show called the Eclipse Experience, and that will continue on until we have our star party for our solar eclipse in 24.
The crossroads of the eclipses, star parties.
Yeah. So
it's going to be a double whammy because of the 2023 annular eclipse and the 2024 total eclipse, which you're not going to want to miss. So
so we'll so that'll start May 3rd, and we'll continue that on. That'll for at the moment we'll be replacing our go-to community open go-to community program. So anyway, so we have that coming up. And then of course in July, I cannot believe we're already talking about summer. With this weather that we're having, I keep going, is summer really coming? Because I'm like, if one more person says snow, I'm going to have to shove something in their mouth. Let's not talk about snow.
I'm tired
of hearing the word snow. but anyway, so July 24th, the 29th, we're going to have the Nebraska Star Party will be happening. September 22nd through the 25th, we're going to have the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party. And then, of course, in October, there's a couple of different things that I haven't seen the dates for yet. So we'll get those on the calendar. And I do apologize that the calendar is not up to date. We had some staffing changes here in customer service. So I've been training and trying to
yeah, you've been taking on a more responsible role. I know that.
Yeah. So fill in responsibilities. So yeah, so I'll get that up to date. Scott and I sat down and talked about that today. So we'll add some things to that. And so hopefully y'all can get back to looking at that calendar and seeing what lies ahead. So, but, so Scott, tell us more about the Eclipse experience. Like what specifically, is it just going to be solar? Is it going to be lunar? Is it going to be?
No, it's going to be lunar and solar because of course the Earth gets to experience these two types of eclipses, on a semi-regular basis. Okay. Solar eclipses, I think, are, it varies, but about every year and a half, you can have a total solar eclipse somewhere on Earth. Okay. Lunar eclipses might happen a little bit more often. I need to double check that, but we're going to have a great one. I think it's May 15th. That's going to come up through, well, Antarctica is going to get it. Okay. And then it's going to, all of South America is going to get it. And I think most of Mexico, maybe all of Mexico, and then half of the United States will get it. We're going to get it here in Arkansas. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you need to get out and observe it, Yeah. It turns the moon kind of this pumpkin orange color, or, they call it the blood moon because it turns kind of orange or red color, so a lot of amateur astronomers that are kind of into eclipses sort of cringe when they hear blood moon because there's no such thing as a blood moon, but whatever. I think that anything to celebrate an astronomical event is great.
Yeah.
We have, there's also the Lyrid meteor showers that are starting up here pretty soon.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I've been looking at those. I think is it the 28th or something that they're most prominent. I looked up the dates the other day and I can't remember, but yeah.
Think about this. It's never quite exact. Okay. Because you have a comet that has gone around and left a dust trail. Okay. They don't know really how much material density or thickness, or whatever, how many pieces are out there that are going to make these meteors. Okay.
Yeah.
They take good guesstimates about it. And sometimes they're, remarkably close, but they have estimates of how many meteors per hour at the zenith, to see. And I think that the Lyrids at their peak might be 100, something like that.
Yeah.
Some meteor showers throughout history have had where people experience meteors falling from the sky like it was a rainfall. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that only one time in my life.
Wow.
And it's just very strange to see that many meteors falling at the same time. There are times where you can see long trains of meteors, where it's just, one of them comes over and it's just like, I can only describe it as like a train because it's coming through and it's streaking across and stuff's coming off of it. And so that's very cool. But most meteors are making like little streaks in the sky, and these things are only about the size of a grain of sand. Okay.
Wow.
Teeny tiny. Okay. But as they're colliding with our atmosphere at the speed that they ionize and make that streak across the sky.
So, what is the best way to view a meteor shower? Is naked eye, binoculars, telescope?
Naked eye. It's fun to have binoculars if you can get your eye trained, because you're going to be, they're coming pretty fast, and if they go across a significant part of the sky, you need to be able to do this. What I do recommend is, I mentioned this before. I recommend getting a a zero gravity chair. If you don't know what a zero gravity chair is, go on Amazon. Here, I'll show you one right now. Amazon.
I know. I know you've mentioned one to me before.
Zero gravity chairs. Here we go. There's some pictures. I know the audience knows what it is, but I'm going to show it anyways. So anyways, they have like kind of your stripped down zero gravity chair. This one's like $46. Look at this one. It's got real cushy, these things are massage chairs. That's not what we're talking about. But these things are wonderful because you can recline all the way back and look up at the sky, and so you can have your binoculars on one side of the chair. Sometimes they have like little places, like this one looks like it has a little tray to hold things, So, you can have your drink on one side and your binoculars on the other side or whatever. And,
do you set your drink in the side and then make a straw train all the way up to your, so then you just lay back in the chair?
Like with surgical tubing, so I can just kind of run it back and I don't have
just
to
lay back. I'm just thinking if you're laying
I listen
back.
to like whale songs, on my headphones, right?
Yes.
Now you know how I actually really do observe the sky.
I found out your secret.
Yeah, you got to get in the look, guys. You got to get in the mood about it, And a zero gravity chair does help, and it'll keep insects off of you, if you're out observing and it's warm and that kind of thing. And you don't want a, scorpion or rattlesnake or something coming by. So. Although I've never experienced a scorpion or a rattlesnake coming by. However, I have found scorpions out where I was observing before. I've been very lucky. I've never been bitten by anything at a star party.
You should have not said that. I'm just saying.
I'm going to manifest it. Is that what's going to happen? I'm manifesting it.
I'm just leaving that comment there.
Harold says it's time for tequila here. Okay.
I think it's because we were talking about
Harold. I am sorry if I drove you to drink, man. I am. So, yeah.
But we have some great, amazing things coming up, and I'm really excited to see that show start and grow, and so that'll be good. That'll be a good thing. So, but
poor Lubo in China, he was talking about going out and having a great time in the countryside with his boys to look at the stars, but he said still no telescope because his mount is still not fixed. That's pretty sad. Lubo, if that mount, if you can use that mount without a drive, okay, I recommend you do it. I mean, just so that you can get the telescope polar aligned and if it's the kind of mount where you have to have it driven, where the electronics are working and you can't go manual at all, that's a problem. That's the reason why I try to take care in making our mounts where you can operate them with without any kind of electrical power, because maybe your battery goes dead, maybe you lose a cord, something like that. And if you have a mount that only works electronically, I see that as a big hindrance, so because it is all about, trying to capture that moment. And so that's the deal. Mike Overacker says, hello, Scott, Explore Scientific and all. Good to see you there. Harold Locke says, I don't drink and going on 2.5 months of no cigarettes. Congratulations, awesome. Harold. That's good.
Great job.
Yeah. So when is the new May meteor shower supposed to peak? What comet is it from? You're talking about in fact, I have a little bit of information about it. Let me look it up. Because one of our speakers tomorrow on the Global Star Party wanted to do, he was bringing it up and he was going to talk about it. Let me see if I can get you information.
Is he still going to talk about it tomorrow?
Well, he will if we ask him. He will if we ask him. He's going to talk about Griffith Observatory because it's Anthony Cook, so.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. You're talking about the 73P, and as in Paul, dash ID storm variant of the Tau Herculid meteor shower. This is a possible upcoming meteor shower, and it's predicted about 5 hours universal coordinated time on May 31st. Okay, favoring North America, especially the West, on May 30th and the 31st. I have been out at times where they predicted a new meteor shower, like a meteor storm and stuff, and it's really hit or miss. I mean, sometimes things happen and sometimes they don't. Okay. Yeah. So we just have to wait for the next time to see them. But that is the information that I think that you're talking about. But of course, this month is the Lyrid meteor shower and the Eta Aquarid meteor shower as well. So that's what's coming up now. But I would say that the big thing to be looking for, at least in the Americas, is the lunar eclipse that's coming in May. Did you have a comment there, Annie?
No, I'm telling our I have a new employee that I'm training, and so I was just telling her something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Anyways,
I'm lip syncing. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You're lip syncing. Great. Yeah. So let's see. And Lubo says the mount is back in the factory.
That's
painful.
not fun.
It's painful.
I know.
That's why you have backup equipment, Lubo. All of us that are into astronomy, if you have just like one piece of equipment or one set of electronics for your telescope, it's kind of like you're flying by the seat of your pants in this regard, because things can break. Okay. I've probably told you the story before, but when I did the Eclipse Expedition in 1991, I traveled to Mauna Kea for that, to the observatory complex up there, and we were part of a professional film crew. And the rule was, if you had anything electronics, batteries, cables, electronic boards, anything, motors, anything electronic, you had to have your unit plus 3 layers of backup. Okay, so we carried a ton of stuff. Okay, we did actually have to use some of it. Okay, but because we had it, we were able to make repairs right there on the site. We captured the eclipse. There was no do-overs. Okay, on this kind of thing. And in astronomy, the astronomy world and the events that go on in the sky, there really is not a lot of do-over. You can't just say, well, yeah, I'm going to see this amazing event sometime again in the future. You probably won't. Okay, many things are really truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I do recommend having some backup system, and that could be a very simple, basic, non-electronic kind of system. Okay. But it would still allow you to get your telescope mounted and to do some observing. If Nico the Hammer can do unguided astrophotography, no motors, no electronics, you can do it too. So if astrophotography is your thing. But
I've been following. I've been following a Facebook page. It's been really cool. That's all it is it's landscape astrophotography, and it's cameras and things like that. But it's been the neatest thing to follow and see what people are using and things like that, and the different type of equipment, outside of using a telescope. So it's just kind of I'm like. But our weather's been so bad lately that I haven't been able to get my camera out. I'm like,
because you can't see any stars.
Literally, I went home the other day. I was driving home the other day, and I was like, oh, the moon's out. I can see Orion's belt and all this stuff. And I got to the house and everything was behind a tree or behind a street light.
Yeah.
I was like,
Been
okay,
there.
well then never mind.
Been there. Been
So,
there. So
Yep. So, but
Well-
yes, astrophotography is amazing. So.
Harold Locke says, bring back manual EQ mounts sold as backup and outreach tripods. Actually, we have that stuff, Harold. So you can, all of our mounts you can use manually. So, Lubo says, part of my agreement with my wife about upgrading my mount from a Nexstar 8 SE to an EQ6R and 8 HD was that I will sell the old one. You know, I would otherwise keep it. So, Lubo, maybe you just let me talk to your wife about equipment, okay? And then, you know, I'll write a note or something for you can use and hand it to her, and she'll let you keep the gear. I promise. Okay.
See, I have a note from Scott. I have to keep it.
Here's great marriage advice from Harold Locke. Tell her you lied, Lubo, and then apologize. Yeah, well, if you want to get a dent in the head from a frying pan or something, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Being smothered in your sleep, you know, so I don't know. Billy's Astro says, just don't accept any offers. Okay.
My goodness.
Well, it was fun talking to you guys today, but that's kind of, you know, we just wanted to pop on and tell you what was going on for this week and to kind of give you a precursor for the Global Star Party, which will be tomorrow, starting at 6. And, you know, I'm really, really excited about this this distribution agreement that we have with Optiques Fulham. So he'll be on tomorrow with us, and you're going to want to see that as well. So any other news? Anything else that we need to cover?
Oh, we do. Tyler and I have not been great at announcing, but we do have an astrophotography contest going on. We've been trying to figure out the hashtag and all that stuff for it. So I'm going to pin him down this week and try to get that more concrete so we can start. We need to start announcing that every show. So I do want you guys to know, I know we've kind of been MIA with that kind of thing lately, but we do have one going on. I can't remember all the details off the top of my head. So this is just a pre-announcement. I'm going to have Tyler officially announce it on Friday.
This is a pre-announcement that Tyler is going to tell you.
Yeah, Tyler's going to officially I'm going to make him. I'm just kidding.
Right. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
But yes, I know we've mentioned it a couple of times. So please don't think that we haven't forgot about it, because we want to see y'all's work. We love to see it. And so it's very inspiring to us to see you guys grow and in that hobby. And so yeah. So
Great. Right.
yep.
So
So-
we have, let's see, Ghost Flyer 6 or 63. He says, how far are you guys from Mina? That's a little town in Arkansas. As I take planes up that direction, maybe I can hop up and visit the showroom. Well, you should take that little plane and go fly into the Springdale Airport. There's a little municipal airport out here. I think it's Springdale.
Yeah, it's Springdale. Mm-hmm.
Springdale Airport.
Yep.
And that is a very close drive to Explore Scientific. But if you're driving from Mina, it's going to be about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So you'll go up Highway 71 and then go down northbound on I-49. Take exit 72 and pull in right behind the Cracker Barrel restaurant, and here we are. So you'll see the signs.
Or just park your plane in our parking lot. It's all good. Just
There's
kidding.
not much of a landing strip. So.
I know. I'm just, well,
Right.
49 runs right past us. So just park there. It'll be
Yeah,
okay.
vertical takeoff and landing capability. Yeah, maybe you can do it. Okay, so
I'm just making a joke. I'm not really
I
suggesting
know,
that.
I know. So,
But what a way to get attention if we just had an airplane just laying right here.
that we get attention. Yeah, you just do it right on Highway 49 and then we'll get television attention. And then as he pops out of the plane, he says, I'm going to Explore Scientific. As they're hauling him off.
That's
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah. So we hope to see you, Ghost Flyer 63. He says, I'd take a plane. We drop them off in Mina to get painted.
That's
Oh,
nice.
yeah, there you go.
I want to know where he's coming from.
Planet Earth somewhere?
I don't
I
know.
guess.
I just am curious where he's flying from. You know, I mean, that's kind of interesting to fly a plane all the way to Mina to get it painted. There must be some really good painters
how many
there.
places do you know that paint airplanes? There's not a lot,
That's true.
right?
I have one set up in
I
my
know
back.
exactly
I have-
zero. Okay.
I have one set up in my backyard right now. No, I don't. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ghost Flyer says T-41 Houston. So that is either an airplane model or the name of the airport. So
Oh, the name of the airport. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yes,
That is
come
very
see
cool.
us. Come visit us. Come see us. We're open
Please
8 to
do.
5, Monday through Friday, and
Yeah.
12 to 5 on Saturday.
yeah, and you can meet Annie and myself, and we'll be happy to show you around. So
100%.
yep. Well, that's it, I think. So
I think that's it.
Annie, thank you. Thank you
No,
very much.
thank you for letting me on.
Absolutely. So yes, I let you on just one more time.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I cause a ruckus. I mean, I do. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've just walked into our Facebook Lives and Amazon Lives, and Tyler and them are like, "Come over here," and they
Come
start
on. Yeah, they just
quizzing me
grab
on
like
stuff.
a hook to pull you onto the stage, right?
I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I'm so used to
Harold
being around.
Watts, very kind to us. He says thanks to both of us. So
Yeah,
Harold,
good.
thank you, and to the entire audience, thank you for watching today. And
Yep.
we'll be on tomorrow. So
Yep.
take care. Keep looking
Bye.
up. Bye.